Hello there, it's been quite a while since I have last done a video on the channel, and throughout this video, while we're going to be doing a two-towered chimps with the Embrittlement Ice Monkey and the tab, I hope to be able to cover all the bases as to what's been going on throughout my life. Starting technologically, my PC, like last time about a few weeks ago, before this incident, I wasn't able to connect to the internet on this PC at all, so therefore I wouldn't be able to do anything like this where I would be able to record a session or anything like that, or just simply enjoy a game of balloons. And I realized that I kind of messed up there because I don't require permafrost just yet. So the first time I had my PC quote-unquote repaired, it was from a local handyman who knows a bit or there about computers and stuff like that. Just somebody very local that can pick up my PC, and then he'll be able to look it over for a day or so and then be able to deliver it back to me and give me a quota in which I will then need to pay. Which worked for about 2 weeks until I was watching a YouTube video randomly and the internet decided to cut out my PC again. So I checked other devices, they were all still connected, and you know that when one device doesn't connect but every other device in your house connects, you know that it's a problem with the PC and not with the router. This is where I need to use my permafrost. Hopefully this is one. There we go, otherwise we wouldn't be able to catch that yellow balloon from our grass spear, and we're also going to get enhanced freeze as well. Also, I don't know how this video is going to churn out, because while my PC was sent for repairs for the second time, this time by the maintenance company in which I purchased my PC from, which took about 2 weeks to both send there and then it comes back. But that, for me, what's going on throughout my life at the moment was just the tip of the iceberg that's been going on. I've been having a lot of personal issues which I'm going to go through right now. Hopefully we can survive round 15. Otherwise it's going to be a little bit of a scenario here, but we seem to be having our bases covered. So the first thing to mention, and I've hinted this throughout a few of my well, not a few, but several of my prior videos, I do have a lot of lack of self-confidence within myself, and I seem to be take on board people's values and opinions, much more than I should be, and it can sort of directly affect my life in general when it feels like I've been given a bombardious amount of expectations, and hey, do this scenario, do that scenario, I'd like to see this scenario covered, I'd like to see that scenario covered. And throughout a long period of time, it just feels like I'm just letting people down, because there's only one of me and there's thousands of you watching my videos, and it's really hard to keep up with everyone's expectations of me throughout the time. And sometimes a lot of these expectations can bombard me. It shouldn't do. I should be able to take these on board. It's like, hey, here's something in which you can do. I'm not saying that you have to do it, but this is something that I'd like to see it done. And sometimes that can be interpreted from my end as something that should not be taken like you have to do this, you have to be able to fulfill this. And a combination of that alongside retail work sometimes feels like it gives me some imposter syndromes, where it feels like despite all that I'm doing, I'm still not enough. I feel like my value as an individual is not enough to people, and therefore I'm always letting people down, even if nobody says, but I've let them down, or that my accomplishments, are better than what I am giving myself for. So that is a bit of an issue on my end, but also other things that have been going on throughout my life is I've had 2 MRI scans, and I wasn't told like 4 months after the MRI scan, but I have a cyst in my right maxillary sinus, which is just by your nose, a bit of a way into your head and next to the nose, which they didn't document as being serious or anything like that, so therefore it didn't really get placed down when I had my MRI scan. But for those of you who ever go to like MRI scans or see your doctors and then they don't report on something, even if it's benign or not serious, I would much rather know that it was there to begin with. Like, even if it's not serious, I would rather know that it's there so that then we can do something about it rather than being kept quiet until, this is the next part by the way, I go to the doctors to see about my high blood pressure that I have at the moment, which I'm taking tablets for, which I hope will rectify, or if not, then I require a higher milligram dosage. So that's sort of what's going on throughout my life at the moment medically, and I have a chest infection as well, which has been going on for a good 3 weeks now. I'm like, if every crap thing is going to happen in my life, let it all be at the same time rather than spread out throughout the year. So then I can just get all of this crap out of the way first, so that then I can focus on life as it is. And talking about work or anything like that, I've discussed with my manager my concerns at the moment. I feel like I'm always underperforming, even when he doesn't say that I'm underperforming, or it feels like I'm letting people down, even though I don't let people down. I still feel like at times that what people don't tell you is more frightening than what things people do tell you. And I feel like in the back of my head, I'm always like having a little bit of paranoia about that, which I need to stop, and I need to have a bit more faith with myself when it comes to everything that's been going on. But the last bit for me is the most personally tearing thing for me. I had a Jack Russell that I've had for over half of my life. I'm 31 years old. I've had this Jack Russell for over 16 years. He is up to 17. And throughout the past remaining year of his life, he suffered from numerous number of symptoms and difficulties, including a huge struggle to be able to walk. Like in the past few weeks left of his life, he wasn't able to walk properly. We have to constantly help him when it comes to getting water and being able to go to the toilet or anything along those lines. And then there's a dog form of dementia which can occur, and this wasn't something that was originally discovered like since our knowing of dogs, because thanks to medical care improving, we discover new things that were not there, because aging has a horrific effect of giving you things in which you didn't have to begin with. So I forgot what it's actually called, but it's similar to dementia or Alzheimer's, where your brain cells unfortunately slowly decay and degenerate as time goes on. And that is a horrifying scenario. And alongside that, he's also completely blind as well. But thankfully in dogs, their nose is their primary center, not their eyes. But it's still a very, very big thing to lose out on, like not being able to see or be able to see properly. His right eye was completely blind, and his left eye was... No, wait, it's the other way around. His left eye is completely blind, but his right eye was barely able to see. So, with the combinations of all that, and it was actually last Thursday as of the time of this recording. I'm recording this on the 22nd of May 2025. Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to our beloved Jack Russell. We've had him for over 16 years, and I've had him for over half of my life, and it was family to me. And even though Jack Russells are a bundle of joy and characters and annoyances, I would infinitely have those annoyances at the end of the day if it means that I can have my beloved family members still here. And anybody who has lost a family member, whether it be 4 legs or 2 legs or 8 legs or however many legs, or if they've got fur or feathers or some other form of skin different to humans and dogs or anything like that, like regardless of what specimens that you have, your family is so important to you, regardless of what species they are. Whether it's cat, dog, or if you're really loving fish or anything like that. It's like back in the day when like we just see animals as tools or just food. It's like we didn't have these emotional attachments to them, but nowadays we love our beloved pets. And just having to say goodbye is just one of the most devastating things that you can do. Even the head vet was like, his time was up, unfortunately. There's nothing more that we can do for him, and we need to make a decision that week. So, numerous number of things going on throughout my life in the background. Like we don't, I don't love to share everything that's going on throughout my life, but I know that people are interested to see what's going on and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not just going to share my entire life story as to like how I got from when I was a wee little baby to now. Like, there are always things that us as content creators will always keep hidden, and unfortunately there are still those who think that we should share our lives, because for some people that is sort of like a precognitive expectations that we're supposed to share everything. Otherwise it's like, well, what are you hiding? What if you're a horrible human being in the background? It's like, don't let your thought process consume your judgment of a character until you witness firsthand that that person is a horrible character. It's like, that's not something that you should delve yourself into when it comes to that sort of thing. And I know in the future this will be a really weird video to watch, because it's like, well, it's been 2 years, why are you talking about this sort of stuff? It's like, well, in the moment, as of the time of this recording, these sort of things have been going on throughout my life, and I don't know if I'm going to stick to a 1 video per day schedule. I would like to, but sometimes I just feel so flat and demotivated. It's like, I would rather record when I'm feeling peppier rather than more tired or more demotivated, or feeling like the world itself is just against you, even though there's been like nobody throughout the day that has said, hey, you are worthless. That is something that you have implemented onto your own head. And I feel like most of the time that's not the case, even though that I know it's the case. But it's like the 5 stages of grief, and sometimes I'm torn between acceptance and just going backwards. Some other small notions that people can come up with as well. With this particular combinations, you don't even need Embrittlement. You could just stick with ice shards. And there's been a little swap around when it comes to different traits, because now ice shards can remove camo and regrow properties, whereas Embrittlement just enables targets to receive more damage, and any lead balloons loses their immunities. So mainly that's for DDTs, but then I'll lose out on that bonus damage against balloons while this is still pre the anti-balloon. Even like in the anti-balloon it still does more damage, but it's a little bit more irrelevant because the anti-balloon does so much damage anyways. Luckily, before I sent my PC back for repairs, I managed to screenshot all of my settings on my editing software and managed to put all of my files on a external hard drive, so that when my PC's data is wiped, I don't have to worry about anything personal being wiped, because, well, I've cut and pasted all of that onto my external hard drive, so therefore there's nothing really worrying to wipe. So about my PC repairs, not only was my CPU a little bit tweaked so that hopefully it can retain access to the internet, but also a fan needed replacing and the case needed replacing as well. But unfortunately, the replacement case that they got for me is unable to house a DVD drive, so I would perhaps want to get an external DVD drive if I want to play DVDs on my computer, even though nowadays DVDs are sort of like a past tech. We just get everything from Netflix or Amazon or any other site like that, similar streaming services. Also, while I've been having my chest infection, I've also been struggling to speak as well. It feels like at times a cat has grabbed hold of my throat. I forgot what the exact phrase is. It's like, what's the problem? Cat got your throat or something? I've forgotten what the exact wording is there, but it is similar along those veins. And this is why I didn't get Tech Terror on round 62, because of this purple issue that we have going on here. Okay, so what about round 79? Perhaps I should have used the Tech Terror ability a bit sooner on the previous round, because we're definitely going to need it for all of these regrow balloons before they start growing out of control. Perhaps, or do we even need it? No, because of the fact that ice shards can now de-regrow, which is nice, even though Embrittlement, before the swap changes when it comes to those certain kinds of attacks, is able to de-regrow, which is a very good thing to have, by the way, an option to de-regrow. Very useful for those pesky rounds with a huge amount of regrow balloons, like 76. Anyways, we've got a ZMG here, and as time has gone on, the tech tower keeps getting more and more nerfs, which is, you know, it's still a very good tower, but it's just not as powerful as it used to be. You need towers like Obin or Lord of the Abyss to be able to get its pierce back to, hopefully what it was. And then some more. This is a huge amount of BFB, so I need to tech tower ability there. But then sometimes this can hold off a ceramic over here for a long period of time, which is very nice so that we can get our ability back sooner. Also, not everyone knows about this, but with the tech tower ability, every third use of the ability, it's actually 50% more powerful. I kind of wish that those ceramics would have stayed over here for longer. I guess you just do too much damage at times. I'd like to push myself to make even better content or be able to collab with another content creator or something like that. But in my head it's like, am I good enough for their time? And I'm like, you just gotta stop asking yourself these questions, Flare Balloons. Just go for it. Like, the worst thing that can happen is that they'll say no, and that's completely fine. And then, like, other self-imposed difficulties, like, well, you haven't got a high enough sub count to be able to collab with them. It's like, every creator is different. You don't have to use, like, a statistics or a metric to be able to deem oneself worthy enough or anything like that. I think it's down to your quality as a person and how you treat other people. Your statistics should not define your character. You, as a person, define your character. Here we go, round 85 has ended. Lovely zebra balloon at the very end there. And we're 5k away from Tab. I know it's called the Anti-Bloon, but I just love to call it Tab, because it tabs out the existence of balloons when it uses its attacks, and most definitely its ability. Do I even need to use the ability on this round? I hope not to. But some of these super fortified ceramics are, I would say, inching their way towards the end of the track. Just keep them there, even though I have no need to keep them there. But let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see me do in the future. I think most common videos I always do is like 2-tower chimp combinations. It's like, I really enjoy 2TCs because they're not as involved as 2 megapops, which sometimes I feel like I need to pre-test before I do. That might be a bad usage of that there, actually. I need to pre-test a lot by doing a run myself outside recording, so then I'm not wasting both my time, well, actually mainly your time, but I'm also wasting my time on a scenario where I feel like I can't do. I need to use that there, actually. Hopefully this is able to hold them all. Oh my god, there's still birds up there. Okay, hold them off for as long as possible, please. I need the ability back for round 89. I think we can do this. Yeah, we can do this. We've definitely got this. And we've got the Anti-Bloon on round 88. Another reason to not get super brittle before Tab is the fact that you can get Tab sooner. Now we are definitely tabbing them out of existence. Round 90, the first appearance of DDTs in this scenario, or any chimp scenario for that matter, unless it has custom rounds, or its alternate balloons. We won't get the 2 megapops on the Tab because we need to use the Ice Monkey a lot in order to get us to this point. And the towers with the sharp damage type, there is literally a point on them. By round 94, this is the first round that I consider as, oh crap, that is a lot of balloons, and I didn't mean to press the button right next to 1 on the keyboard to pause the game. I shouldn't be yelling my voice is still recovering from my chest infection at the moment. And my voice sounds even deeper than usual. Then number 1, I probably got my microphone settings wrong, which I always do. I don't know what the best settings for my microphone are. Sometimes I feel like I sound too echoey, or sometimes it feels like small noises that I make, just such as closing my lips every time I talk, are audible. Right, let's tab these out of existence. Round 97, fortified ZOMGs. Sometimes This round is more difficult than like round 94 and 96, just because of the RBE of per target. Sometimes the RBE per target is the main issue, but then if you're struggling on round 97, then good luck on round 100. Has anyone got time for... Oh, it's popped. Lovely. Has anyone got time for tea? Or coffee? Or hot chocolate if you're fancying something sweeter? Okay, let's just remove these from existence just like that. We're not needing the ability for the fortified DDTs. And we have this round covered once the last fortified DDT has been popped out of existence. You know that things are definitely south for the balloons. Okay, come on now. This joke has gone on for too far. Round 100. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially done the run. The bad whale here is about to be decimated from the entire board with the press of a single button. Just like that. Sorry that the majority of this video has been me talking about my own personal issues in life. Like, some people do enjoy listening to it because it feels like it makes me feel like more of a person rather than just a content creator, which I do thoroughly appreciate for some people that say like, I enjoy these stories, or I'm sorry that you're going through this right now, or something like that. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see me do in the future. Thank you to everybody that has given me warm wishes on both of my posts that I put on my channel regarding my sort of unofficial hiatus away from the channel and doing stuff like your personal health needs to come first before playing a game about darts throwing dart monkeys throwing a dart at a balloon and hoping to pop all of them. And then I have not made this joke yet on the video so far about letting a yellow balloon escape, and hopefully not one of them escapes. But anyways, but also thank you to everybody that's been using my creator support code while I was away, but also like just like all of the time that you've been using my creator support code. When I initially got the game up and running, I was like, oh crap, like I log onto Steam. Like my Steam account was like, no, that's a brand new account. It's like, oh crap, I don't lose all this progress when I realized I created my Ninja QE account in another way. And then once I remembered that, then we're back up and running with everything, including this She-Ra avatar. Anyways, 38 followers, lovely. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and take care of yourselves.